Okay, I think everything's working. Maybe. It's time for Facebook Live stamping class, free stamping class, that is. Checking to make sure that I'm actually here, so it looks like that I am, and I see that someone else is here. Oh, Pam's here. Hi, Pam. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. So, everyone, it's Thursday. It's Facebook Live time, so that means it's 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time, which is where I am in Wyoming, and 4 Pacific. So, I hope you guys have all been having a fabulous week since the last time I was live with you, which would have been last Thursday. We have gotten a ton of snow. I think I woke up yesterday morning to a couple inches. I thought, oh, no problem. So my husband went to work. My son went to school. I went outside. I shoveled the whole driveway and everything. And then I came down here to work. And then I went back upstairs about an hour later. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Charlene. And it was like a blizzard. And it was just dumping snow, dumping snow, dumping snow. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So 6 inches later, it was done. And so I went out there again and shoveled the whole thing. Well, not just shoveling. I mean, we have a snow blower. It's super old and it takes a long time and it's really heavy and awkward, but it beats using a shovel. But I do have to shovel some of it. So anyway, that was a real bummer. And then I woke up this morning and there was another inch or two out there. I thought, oh my gosh, I am so tired of getting rid of snow because we have gotten so spoiled here. We had like some blizzards back in early November, and then it didn't snow again until this month. And we've gotten hammered, just hammered. I think the snow pile, like, you know, when you're shoveling off your sidewalk and you're throwing snow onto the side, that pile of snow is like 3 feet deep. So I'm not happy about that at all from all the snow we've gotten this past, I guess, couple of weeks. Anyway, it was beautiful today after I shoveled that little bit of snow. It's been sunny all day. I think it's been about 30 degrees, so it's a heat wave here, so I'm pretty happy about that. And we're not supposed to get any more snow for at least a couple of days, so that's good because I have a bunch of errands I have to run tomorrow and some appointments. So yay, I will be able to go out and all the roads will be clear in town. Because I don't like to leave my house when it's crappy outside. I don't like to drive in crappy weather. I don't see very well. And when everything's white, it's even harder for me to see. So I just like to stay home. Yeah. So that's been good. So aside from the snow, everything is wonderful. My daughter's in college still doing amazing. My son is still dealing with his broken wrist. It's getting better, which is good. So hopefully he will be able to pole vault for outdoor track season because it's indoor track season right now and he's not able to do any pole vaulting and he's very sad about that. So hopefully it will get better. And I personally don't think he's going to be able to, but I'm not going to tell him that. If he thinks he is going to be able to pole vault, then great. So, oh my gosh, Janine's just telling us that she had 12 inches of snow on Sunday and it was below 0 today. Brr, not a fan, Janine, not a fan. It gets super cold here too, but it hasn't with this snow. So thankfully we just have a bunch of snow, no below 0, because I'm not a fan of that either. Because I work in my basement and it gets kind of cold down here. So, and just saying. Oh, and Louise has rain. You know, rain can be a real bummer though, Louise. I'm not a big fan of that either if there's too much. So anyway, yeah. So hello, Tina and Louise and everyone else. Did I miss anybody? La 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 la. Charlene, living in Florida, where I'm sure it's beautiful. Lynn from New Jersey. They probably get some heavy weather out there, I would imagine. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I have some super cute projects for you. I've been working all day on them. Thursday is Facebook Live day, so I do spend the majority of my day getting ready for the class, you know, making the cards that I want to show you guys and then prepping all the stuff. So yeah, so we're going to get to stamping here pretty darn soon, but I do have a few little housekeeping things, of course. It is celebration still, so $50 and $100 orders get you free stuff, which is always amazing. The Occasions catalog still going strong. There's a lot of amazing products in there, and we're going to be using some of those today, along with some celebration products and some coordinating products that coordinate, that are for sale through the celebration period, that coordinate with some other products that we have. So that was a hard thing to get out, apparently. And obviously, yes, I've talked about this before. It's also the best time to join Stampin' Up! If you have not joined already. I would love, 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 love to have you on my team. I have people all over the country, and we just have a great time. We've got a Facebook group that we have a lot of fun on. I do partner with a couple of my dear demonstrator friends in sharing ideas and things like that. So we are able to offer our teams just amazing, amazing content. So it's a great thing to join my team. And when you join right now, you get these little goodies too. A cute little paper trimmer, a package of designer series paper, and then, yikes, hit my lamp. And then a stamp set of your choice. I recommend this one because it's $45 and you can have it for free. So yes, and thank you guys for sharing the video, and please leave your comments because I will be giving away another online class. I'm giving an online class today. And so the winner of that online class is Trudy Oliver. So Trudy, if you happen to be watching us today, all you have to do is message me or email me, barb@barbstamps.com, and let me know which of my $20 online classes you would like for free. You can check those out at my blog, barbstamps.com, and there's a link across the top, something that says online classes. Check that out. Roll through all of my online classes that I have. Pick your favorite for 20 bucks. Email me, let me know what you want, or message me Facebook here, and I will email it to you. So speaking of online classes, I do have my latest one releasing tomorrow. My cardstock kits are still available through tomorrow. So if you're interested in the cardstock kit with the online class of $35, and I do have some, I have a bunch cut already. I have a bunch cut for my people, and I did cut a couple extra just in case somebody, you know, comes in at the last minute and wants one of those. So check that out on my blog also. And what else? So in addition to our celebration brochure, which anybody can order and get free stuff out of right now, we have our coordinating products, which are a lot of die sets. So we have these two sets of dies, the Nature's Thoughts and the Birthday dies, and we're going to be using the Nature's Thoughts today. That coordinates with, we have this coordinating with the Happy Birthday to You stamp set, and then the Positive Thoughts stamp set that one coordinates with. So we're going to be using those. We also have a couple other die sets, one that coordinates with the Little Ladybug set, and then we have this really fun Please Miss Punch designer series paper. So we have tulips, and then a green background. We have little flowers, striped background, and of course our punches punch these things out. So our little heart punch will punch that out, and then we have the cute Blushing Bride pattern on the back, and then we have the umbrella builder punch that will punch these out along with the little raindrop pattern on the back. So the paper is super, super cute, only available through Celebration. So I highly recommend getting it if you haven't, because it's super cute, super fun, and I've made some super cute cards with it. Look, I know, right? They're super cute. It excites me so much. So there's that. Then another perk, if you decide to join to be a demonstrator right now, demonstrators can pre-order these celebration products that are coming out in March. But if you sign up during February during our pre-order, you can add those to your kit and get those now as well. So that is super exciting too. I'm going to move all these things out of the way so when I turn my camera. Then I wanted to show you guys the projects that I made last week. In case you missed out, you can go back and watch my Facebook Live from last week. We made this fun tulip card that does use that Please Just Punch designer series paper for the leaves and the tulips. And of course, our little fringy grass down here. We had a little bit of fun with that fringy grass. And then we have a card that uses the birthday dies and birthday set. Super cute. I made this one also. I also made this fun little purse. And after I made this purse, look what I did. I covered some Hershey's chocolates with the same paper that's on the little, what do you call that? A little pocket. So that was super fun. And then I also showed you guys a little Valentine's purse, perfect for tomorrow. And then how you can turn the purse into a backpack. So you can have it be a purse or a backpack. Super cute. So that die is amazing. All right, I think that's all my little housekeeping stuff that I wanted to talk about. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip the camera and I'm going to show you guys some more of the sympathy cards that I got from you amazing stampers out there after the passing of my mom. And so I'm going to flip the camera and show you that, and then we will get started with the projects for today. And there it is. Okay, I'm going to zoom in just a tad because sometimes it's hard to see. I'm going to get my chair out of the way. All right, starting with this one, this gorgeous gold embossed dove with this great sentiment, and just white on white, super nice. And so thank you so much. This one uses the Snowfront stamp set to create this fun background. Then we've got our little with sympathy, and I really like the color combination on this. So thank you so much. I guess I could say who gave these to me. This was from Susie. This one is from Jessica. I don't really want to read what they wrote because some of them is kind of personal. Then we have this one that uses one of our, I think it's Beautiful Blooms or something like that, a really gorgeous stamp set. And this one is from Deb. So thank you, Deb. And then we have this one that uses some of our designer series paper that was embossed with the, what is this one called? Country Floral, excuse me, folder. And this is from Jay. So thank you so much, Jay. And then this one is from Cindy. So I love the gorgeous copper foil sheets on here with some of the designer series paper and our woodland embossing folder. So thank you, Cindy. We have this one, some more of our designer series paper. This card is super simple, but yet it's amazingly gorgeous. A couple of our dies, just a piece of designer series paper on the front. And this one is from Vicky. So thank you so much, Vicky. This one, use a little bit of marker action to color this stamp here. We've got the sympathy, and then there's a little bit of splatter with the black marker, and this is from Nancy, so thank you, Nancy. And then this one is from Charlene. I think Charlene is watching us, so this is a gorgeous card. This was a celebration set, I think last year or the year before. I can't keep it all straight. And then just a little bit of sponging there to color that in, just perfect and gorgeous. So thank you so much, Charlene. So those are some sympathy cards, and thank you again, you guys. It really did brighten my day to open up the mailbox and find so many of your beautiful cards in there. It was just amazing, and I thank you so much. Okay, first project, we are going to be using the Positive Thoughts. Now, this is a stamp set that's in our Occasions catalog right now, and then the Nature's Thoughts dies is a set of dies that you can purchase right now. It's a celebration coordination product, and it can be ordered right now. And these are everything that the die, there's 11 dies in the set. So of course we have a die for this leafy thing here, leafy sprig, I'm not sure what you call it, the butterfly, the feather, and then the large flower. So we have the leaf, the flower, the butterfly, and the feather. And then we have this fun little rectangular piece that has some really fun detail impressed into it, which I really think is fun. This little border piece here, this feather, look at the detail on that feather. These two little, leafy sprig things, I guess. Little open detailed butterfly. And then we have this little flower piece where these little, well, it was stuck in my thing, but all those little things pop up and make kind of a 3D flower center, which is really cool. So this is the die set that we're going to use today. Let me get my goods out. And I'm also going to be showing you guys a fun little technique today called, we're going to be making some fuzzy flower centers. And I can't wait to show you that because it's just so cool. Okay, here are some ink pads. We've got Coastal Cabana, Crumb Cake, Pear Pizzazz, and So Saffron. And then I've got some Baker's Twine. And this is the, which one is this? The Nature's Twine. So this is in our big catalog. We've got 4 different colors. We've got Blackberry Bliss, Mint Macaron, Grapefruit Grove, and the Crumb Cake. So we're going to be using that. I've got a 1/2-inch circle punch that we're going to be using. Aqua Painter, and then here are the stamps from the stamp set that I'm going to be using. Okay, so I need some scraps of white. White, where are you, scraps? And we'll just use some of these pieces here. Okay, so, well, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to watercolor this piece here because I want it to dry while I'm doing everything else. So this is that fun little rectangle, and you can see how it cuts that fun, or impresses those little don't know what to call it. It's almost like a scalloped edge, but it doesn't cut it all the way off. It just like imprints into it. It's super, super cute. And I'm going to do a watercolor wash. Squeeze my pad together here and get some ink in the lid. Do a watercolor wash with an aqua painter here and my Coastal Cabana ink. So I'm going to squirt some ink, or some water, not ink. I'm squirting a little bit of water into the lid, and then I'm going to bring some of that color down. Just going to get kind of a nice color here. And then I am just going to, I need it a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to brush it all across my paper. I need a little more water. Okay. And I'm getting it towards the edges here. And I'll get it over to those edges too. Down here I need it a little darker. So I'm not a very great watercolorer, but to do a background I don't think you really need to be. So okay, so we'll just let that dry. So I'm going to clean this out. I'm just going to squeeze the water out of the aqua painter onto a paper towel until it runs clear, and then my brush is clean. Let's put the lid back on, and then we're just going to set that aside to dry over here. Okay, so I'm done with that. So now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, and I really think this image here is really cool. In fact, here's some stuff I was working on today. We're like doing a two-tone on there, but anyways, I'm not doing the two-tone on this particular card. So I need one stamped in crumb cake, and then I'm like huffing on it. I'm breathing on it to re-moisten the ink, and then so I'm going to get 2 of the crumb cake, and then I'm going to get some out of the Pear Pizzazz as well. Clean that off really quick with my old Stampin' Chamois. If you guys don't have a Stampin' Chamois, you seriously need one. It's amazing. Okay, so here is the Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to do that on Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so we have 2 crumb cakes and a Pear Pizzazz. And then I need this flower here. So I need another scrap of white. Oh my. How come when I need a scrap I can't find one? Here we go. Okay, and we're going to stamp the flower in the So Saffron. And it should fit on here. Yep, it sure did. Okay, and then the last thing I need to do is stamp a sentiment. And I'm going to do that on a little tiny piece of, this is our shimmery white. And I'm not sure if on Facebook, the quality, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to tell that it's shimmery white, but shimmery white matches watercolor paper better than Whisper White. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. You can tell that the shimmery white's a little more vanilla-y, if that's a word, which I'm sure it's not. But so it's going to match the watercolor paper just a little bit better, because watercolor paper is also not completely white. So there's just a little tip for you. And I'm going to use one of the stamps out of this set. So I'm using this one here. This says Hugs, Prayers, Love, but I only want hugs. So I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape and mask off the other pieces, the other words. And then I'm just going to ink that up in my crumb cake. Remove the tape is the most important part of this, of masking. And then I'm just going to stamp that right down here at the bottom of this scrap. So now I'm going to throw this piece of tape into the trash so that I don't end up touching it and making a mess, because we all know what happens. Barb makes messes. Then I'm going to bring in my all dressed up dies. We used these last week to make the purse. And I'm going to use this little piece here. This is actually the piece that like makes the closure for the bag. So it's that fun little piece there. And I'm going to cut out my sentiment with part of this. Okay. And then of course the other dies I'm going to do. So let's pretend I went to my die cutting machine and voila. Let me empty out my little plastic bag here. Here's all the goods. No, actually, oh, I forgot I needed a Pear Pizzazz, so I stamped it and then stamped it off. And then here's my full strength. Here's my half strength of the crumb cake. Got that. And then I also have a few more little die cuts that come in the set. So I have this cute little detailed butterfly. There's my hugs. And then I got 2 of these little guys here. Okay. So we have all these goodies. I'm going to close up these ink pads because I'm pretty sure I'm done with them. And of course, if I don't, well, we all know what happens. I make a gigantic mess. So I'm going to clean these up too. Just because sometimes when I throw things back in my little buckets, if I'm not careful and my stamps still have ink on them, I end up, yeah, making a mess. So apparently that's the story of my world, and my name is Barb the Mess Maker. Okay, so I am trying to throw some stuff back into a bin so I have more room to work. All right, here we go. So this isn't quite dry, so I am going to bring in a heat tool and quickly dry this. Normally I would let it air dry, but you know, we don't have 10 more minutes. And a heat tool will work just fine for our purposes. I didn't put that much water on it, so it's not that wet. We should get the whole thing done here. And you will see the paper does kind of roll and buckle, not a big deal. I'll usually shoot the back side of that with the heat tool. And that unrolls it a little bit, and then I will fuss around with it here and get it flat. Okay, so that should be dry. So I'm just going to kind of take it in my hand here and just kind of pull it so that I can flatten it out. So that's pretty flat. Okay. So we are going to decorate this little guy here with some of our fun little pieces. So I thought I would start with my crumb cake. The full strength is going to go there. This little guy here, that's the half strength, I'm going to cut that right up the middle for the most part here. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to put some on that side and some on this side. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this piece. And then let's see, how do I want that? Maybe like so. And then this little guy back here. Just so it appears that we just have a ton of stuff here. Okay, so that's going to go there. And then this piece here, I thought that I would just kind of cut it apart. Let's see, this part here, cut that apart. I think we'll leave this as it is. That, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually use it or not. Okay, so I'm going to add glue to this. And we're going to get that kind of in the center, pointing up towards the top right. Then my flower I'm going to add with a dimensional. Okay, so about like so. And then I thought I could kind of start shoving some of this stuff up underneath just to add a little bit of greenery, you know, underneath this guy here. How do I want to do that? Actually, that's too long. I think I'm just going to use this little piece here. Kind of have that come out. I thought maybe I would put, where was I going to put these? I think I was going to put that. So go ahead and add a little bit of glue there. I'm just kind of winging it, can you tell? And then these little guys, because they're so cute and delicate, thought we could just kind of tuck them in. So it's just like a little eclectic mix of all kinds of things. Okay, and then, oops, that, I think we can, I knew that was going to happen. I need to trim the bottom of that off because it's too long. There we go. And then we can kind of shove that in there like so. I feel like I need another piece coming out of here. Yeah, let's do both of them. Okay. How's this for super random, right? Okay, and then the butterfly, oh, come here. Add a tiny bit of glue to that little guy, and he can kind of be on and off of our big spray of goods here. And then I thought our little hugs could just go right here on the edge, leaving a little bit of the blue showing. like that maybe. Okay, snip that off. All right, so that's what we have so far. On our main card base, I have went ahead and run this piece. It's a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of crumb cake, and I ran it through our pine wood planks folder, embossing folder. What is this? Marlene is telling me for some reason the camera keeps zooming in on the left. Marlene, that might be you, because I don't think that that's happening here. So I'm not sure if there's some glitch in your Facebook, maybe. I don't know. Okay, that is frustrating though. I totally understand. Nancy likes winging it. Yes, sometimes we have to, Nancy. Okay, so then what I have here is I have these strands of crumb cake twine. And I'm going to show you how I did that. So I took the spool here, and I took a little chunk. Well, actually, my chunk is quite long, but for our purposes, since I already have a chunk cut off, we're going to leave it. And all I did was what do you call this? Rolling it backwards, because there's 3 strands here. And so I'm just pulling those 3 strands apart. Okay. So now I have 3 strands that each have 3 strands. Okay. And that's what I ended up with here. And so it looks like it's kind of braided. It's just kind of fun. I feel like, you know, the texture of it is different than its original form. And it's not as thick, which I like. And so we are going to use this fun kind of braided bit. And I'm going to start it right here on the front. And then I'm going to bring it through to the inside of the card. So I'm kind of keeping the strands together. And we're going to pull those through the inside and up to the front again. And then I'm going to attach it here. Now, the reason I'm doing this on the front is because my main piece here is going to cover all this, so you're not going to see any of it. Okay, and then we can snip those off. So that's what we've done. And then you can, if you want, you can kind of spread them out. It just gives just a little bit different look to everything, I think. It's just something different, something fun. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, doesn't cost anything. You probably have baker's twine right there with you. And then we're going to add this to the front. And then stay tuned for the most amazing thing you're going to see all day. I am going to make what I am calling a fuzzy flower center for this flower that we have on the front here. And you're going to love it. Untwist. Yes, thank you, Pam. Geez, I tell you, words are hard for me. I don't know what the deal is. My brain just does not work properly anymore. I don't know if I'm too old. Maybe I'm too young. I don't know. Okay, so there we have the front. And let me kind of scoop some of this stuff out of the way. Now, here are those 3 little strands that I twisted off, unwind, whatever. And we're going to use these and probably some more. So I'm going to separate, like I told you, these things each have 3 strands between them. And so I'm going to separate all 3 of these little strands on all 3 of these strands. So I have 3 strands that have 3 strands, and now I have 9 strands. Okay, there's my 9 strands. All right, so we're going to put those right there. I'm going to bring in the silicone mat just because it's easy to clean up, and if I get glue anywhere, then nobody cares. I need a scrap piece of crumb cake. And this is my 1/2-inch circle punch. And so I'm just going to give myself a 1/2-inch circle. And I guess you could probably do it directly on the flower, but that's just not how I want to do it. So I'm not. And then I'm going to take some liquid glue, and I'm going to, well, my glue is getting down to where it's almost gone. I'm going to add glue all over the circle. Okay. And I'm going to drop it onto my silicone mat and hope that it lets go of my finger. Yay. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some sharp scissors, and I'm going to have these little strands, and I'm going to have them start to be even, and I am just going to start very, very small bits cutting those off. And you'll see a bunch of them are landing on my circle of glue, which is what I want to happen. A lot of them are not landing on my circle of glue, which is fine because I'll just pick those up and place them on my glue when I am done. And I just kind of want small bits. And then they are going to be piled onto the glue. And then it's going to make a super fuzzy flower. And it's so awesome. Okay, we probably have enough. And so all these little bits that are not on there, we are going to get on there. Ah, so cool. I love it. And then you just kind of press down so that all your bits get on there. Can you guys see how cool that is? And then, so I'm just kind of rolling it around so it's nice and round and fuzzy. And then I'm going to just add some glue to the middle of my flower here and plop on my fuzzy center. There we have it. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen? I'm pretty sure it is. And I've got another card that I'm going to make for you a little bit later that uses a fuzzy center also. So that is card number 1. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thought that was a pretty neat trick. Now, I don't know. I kind of want to think that I invented it. I don't know if I did or not, but I'm going to say that I did because I've never seen it before. So there it is. Fuzzy flower centers, guys. All right, let me clean up this stuff and then we will get on to our next project. Let's see, do I have anything out here that I don't need? I'm just going to kind of leave the card there so that you can oogle over it while I'm cleaning up the mess. And then I just brush off those excess bits into the trash. Okay. Next project. I've got bits everywhere, so let me kind of brush these into the trash. Oops, I just threw some in the trash I didn't want in the trash. I got it out. We went dumpster diving. Okay, so here's the card. Yay! So thanks for all the love and everything, you guys. I love that. Look at that. How cute that is. It adds a little bit of dimension, but you know what? You can still mail that. It doesn't add like a bunch of bulk, and so it's just really cool. Okay, Fuzzy Flower Center. Moving on. Now we are going to use the Thoughtful Blooms stamp set and the Coordinating Small Bloom Punch. Now these are celebration reward items. So the stamp set is free with a $50 order. The punch is free with a $100 order. So it would make the most sense for you to place a complete workshop order or get some friends together and everybody orders from you for your party. And then you can get both of these things for free. So yes. Okay. So what we're going to use today is some white, some granny apple green, and some Highland Heather. And then I've got some little bits here. And oh, here's a little teaser. See this candle? I'm going to be doing something amazing with a candle in a couple of days. So be sure to check back on my blog and see what I do with this. It relates to what we're doing here slightly. Okay. Then I'm also using the Daisy stamp set. What did I do with it? I literally had it out here. Did I stick it in a different container? Yes. Okay, we're using the Daisy stamp set. Are we? No. I'm losing my mind. Or wait, are we? No. Gosh. That's on my next card. Wow. Can you tell I've been down here all day creating stuff? I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. Focus. Time to focus. All right. Ink pads. Daffodil Delight. Granny Apple Green. Highland Heather. The pencil. We're also using the hand-lettered prose dies, and I have the letters to spell out hello already taken out of there. Here's some stamps out of the Thoughtful Blooms stamp set. Some Daffodil Delight ruched ribbon. I love that word, ruched. What do you call these? Sponge daubers. Okay. First things first, we are going to do some sponge daubering, which I'm pretty sure is not a word, but it is when you're watching me on Facebook Live. I make up lots of words. Okay. Highland Heather, Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight. Okay, so I am going to get some ink on this piece of paper here. So I'm going to start with my Daffodil Delight, and I'm just kind of swirling it on here at the bottom. And when I dip it into the ink, I always tap it off one time first, just because if you don't, then you might get a blob like that. And that's not the look we're going for here. Okay. All right. So now we need some Granny Apple Green. And we're going to do that right down the middle here. See, I've kind of got some already. So I need to go back and really buff that out. Okay. There we go. It's getting a little bit better. Doesn't need to be perfect because it's going to be kind of hidden anyway. Grab some Highland Heather. All right. We're going to do the same thing on this color. And you can like just slightly overlap these colors. I'm not overlapping them a ton. Just a little bit. Okay. And maybe we'll come back in with the yellow and blend that in with the green there a little bit. And bring the green back in. Do a little more blending up here in the purple. Okay. So we have all that done. So if I would then take that over to my die cutting machine and I would cut out my letters. And when I was over there, I would also get myself one of these stitched nested labels. This is number 6 from the middle. And then I would cut out my letters to spell hello in kind of a rainbow fashion. H-E-L-L-O. So that became that by running it through the die cutting machine with those letters that we just talked about, the hand lettered prose. Okay, I don't need this anymore, I don't think. So now we can go ahead and get these onto our little label here. And they just barely fit. So I'm actually going to place them on here and then do some rearranging before I actually glue them down, because I want to make sure that I don't, you know, screw up and don't have enough room. So I think we're good. So I'm going to add some glue. I may have to get a new glue out. This is getting low. Okay, so we have O glued down. Now we're going to get an L. Add some glue to that. Put that one there. Get the, oops. Now look what I did. Just made a mess. Boy, I tell you, it's hard to stamp live. Because it seems like, well, you know, I probably screw up all the time. But when I'm not live, I don't really pay any attention, or I don't care. But now that I'm live, I'm kind of embarrassed. All right. Get a little bit, oh, that could have been a disaster. On the E. And then finally our H. So I thought this was kind of fun. And of course you could do any color combination you wanted. I was just thinking of spring because I just, you know, got done shoveling 10, 12 inches of snow over the past couple of days. And I'm not really happy about it. Okay. So there's our hello. And then we're going to bring in our layer of white. And I'm going to end up mounting this to the card about right here. And so I want a little bit of some foliage from the stamp set to go above this. So I'm just going to very lightly make a pencil line right there on the outline of this. And where's my little eraser? Oh, he got stuck way back in the drawer here. Okay. And so then I can just take my eraser and get that pencil off there. And so now I know where I'm going to stamp my little goodies. So I've got this little leafy sprig thingy here from the stamp set. And I'm going to ink that up in Granny Apple Green. And sometimes you need one of these little guys. And so I can see, here's like the point of where my pencil line was. And so I'm going to kind of put the center of this stamp right there. Let's see how that works. That worked pretty dang good. So now this little guy isn't going to be seen because my hello is going to cover that up like this. Okay. So then I can do one of two things. I can just stamp the flowers, just stamp them on there. I can stamp them and punch them out with the punch on, you know, scraps of Whisper White. Or I can bring back that Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper and I can punch flowers out of that, which I think I want to do. So let me find that paper. Here we go. And we may have to ruin the whole sheet or cut it a little bit so we can get this, but I'm going to get this one here and this one here. And I'm fine with cutting around it because I have been cutting these little flowers out anyway and using them on cards, such as this one here, where I just punched out a bunch of the flowers and then added them to a note card. Super simple, done. Okay. So we're going to get this little guy. So we have 1, 2. How would that look if I used a stamped one? Would it make any difference? Actually, that might be kind of cool. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll use a stamped one and then a couple of these that are punched out. I think we will. Okay. I have this little dotty guy right here, which is supposed to go over this, I think. But I'm just going to use it as just a dotty guy because it's cute. And I want some dots somewhere in some spots. So I'm just going to add a few little dots just like so. And then I'm going to add my flowers with some mini dimensionals. Let's see, was I going to put that one there or this one here? I think I'm going to stick it right there. And then this little guy, we will stick right there. And my last one is right here. And we're going to stick that right there. So what are you guys thinking about this so far? Is it tickling your fancy or are you like, nah, not a fan? Please don't say you're not a fan. That would make me sad. Okay. So now I can bring my little layer here. Yes. Oh, that's reminded me. I see you guys are sharing the video. Please share the video. That is how you get entered in the drawing. That and commenting. I love to see your comments. I do try to go back in after the live is over and read all the comments and do some, if I have to answer anything, I will. So yeah, comment and we're going to stamp that. And share to be entered. Maybe we'll leave that for a moment. Okay, then I'm going to add this to a layer of Granny Apple Green. So this piece here is 4 by 5 1/4. And then my Granny Apple Green is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it's just going to be a tiny little bit of the Granny Apple Green that's going to be showing here. And then of course I have my card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and we will add that as well with some glue. And then, oh, actually this is 4 1/4 by 11. I just happened to have it in my drawer, and so I just grabbed it. It was already cut. So again, there won't be much showing because the layers are so skinny, but I think it's enough. Okay, so then we need some rhinestones, of course. Where are my rhinestones? I better put the lid on these because if I don't, well, I'm sure you guys can know what I'm going to say. I'll make a mess. So I'm going to put those away before I do make a mess. These I'm going to clean. Okay, so we need some, well, we don't need this anymore either. Some rhinestones. Okay, so I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to get the rhinestones off the sheet. because that seems to work pretty well. Oh, I hope my hair is not in the way. Sorry. I always forget about that because I'm trying to see what I'm doing, because of course I can't see because my eyeballs are messed up. But how about that? And then, you know, I kind of thought maybe I'd stick a couple down here. I don't know. Maybe that's dumb. Who cares? I just did it. It's done. Then the last thing I wanted to do maybe was to tie a bow with this ribbon. So the way I do bows is I make a rabbit ear, another rabbit ear, I cross the rabbit ears, bring the loop through the hole, and then just manipulate it until it's the way I want it. But I should have a ribbon already tied. Oh, it's on the floor. Handy. So I have this ribbon, but I don't know if I want to actually stick it on there. Maybe I don't want to stick it on there. Maybe you guys can help me out here. Ribbon or no ribbon? And if I did use a ribbon, where would I put it? I'm thinking no ribbon. There's just nowhere to put this that it's not going to look stupid. No. I made an executive decision. No ribbon. Okay. So, you know what we could do? Let's do it. Just because we're here and we have time and it's my class. I do what I want. We are going to, where's my little trimmer? Oh, usually it's right on my desk, but now that I'm live, I moved it. So I'm going to make an inside layer here. I don't know how long this is, but we're just going to wing it. How much do we need to cut off? Winging it is fine. A little tiny bit more. How about that? Because we're going to put these little flowers in the middle, I think. I just got a wild hair and decided we were doing something different. I'm going to deviate from what I was doing. No ribbon. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Everyone's saying no, and I agree. So thank you for that, guys. All right. So we are putting this in the inside. Yeah, that is super cute. And I'm going to bring two of my ink pads back in here, the green and the yellow. Okay, and I'm going to end up putting this little guy right here. So I'm going to put a leaf there and maybe a leaf right here. So you could see how I just kind of winged it there. Oh, I didn't get that fully stamped. Can I? Wow. Can I get? Oh, look what I just did. Well, I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do about that. I'm not happy. Not happy at all. I was going to try to fix this, and then I ruined the whole thing. I'm not going to try to fix it. I don't think I can. And I just ruined the whole thing. I just want to cry. Now we can fix it. Okay, and we're going to stamp that right there. And then we're going to take a wee bit of a glue on this flower, and we're going to stick it right here in the center of the card. And I think we may add a little bit of yellow dotty right there. Okay, so pretend that's not there, because that's really bad. Yes, Jerry, I thought about the sand eraser, but that is a lot of mistake. What I may end up doing, because I don't know, Valerie says put another flower on there. I don't know, Valerie, that might be too many flowers. It's going to be off. There's the rule of odds, and you have to have odd numbers of things. So we have 3 of those. We have 5 rhinestones. I'm going to think about it. I may end up taking the whole thing apart and replacing this layer. We'll see what I decide to do. But right now, I'm going to leave it. I may try the sand eraser, but it's a gigantic spot, and I don't know if my sand eraser will take it off without making another mess. So, wow, that's horrible. Okay, well, I guess I'll leave it there so you can all see my mistake. But you've been very sweet, so thank you very much. It's nice to know that I'm not the only person that does stupid stuff like that. And I certainly do stupid stuff like that. So there we go. Nobody's perfect here, right? Okay, so let us get the next project up here. Well, I'm still crying inside about that. Okay, I'm going to put that up there. We'll bring it back later after we're done so you can see all the fabulous things we've made. Okay, I don't know about you guys. I can't stand a messy workstation. So that's why I'm constantly cleaning after I'm done, because I can't handle it. Okay, next, here we go. We have some Blushing Bride and some white, and another piece of Blushing Bride, and another piece of white, and some more pieces of white. Okay. And we are using the Painted Poppies stamp set on this, along with the Painted Labels dies. And now I think I've mentioned this before. I do have an online class. Ooh, Lynn, that might work out. I may check that. I may try that. Lynn says to bring in 2 flowers from that corner, maybe like a half of a flower or a partial flower. I'll check it out and see. Be sure to check back here in like the next day or two and see what I've done, because I'll try to post my fix for this whole problem. My online class is coming. Is my chamois wet? Yes, it is, Pam. Thank you. I lost my train of thought. Online class, $20. You can buy it on my blog, barbstamps.com. And there's 9 cards in the class. I've never shown any of them on my blog before. They're all exclusive to the class. They all have videos. They all have written instructions. Okay, done with that. So for this card, we are going to be using, now we're using the Daisy Delight stamp set, and we're using it for sentiments only, not for the design, or the daisies. Okay, so we've got Blushing Bride and Rich Razzleberry as our ink colors. And I'm going to move that out of the way. Here's the stamps. One more stamp. All right, and then this I've already embossed. This was done with the Coastal Weave 3D embossing folder that is in the Occasions catalog. And with my machine, I do need to use our blue embossing plate. And so I have marked this folder with a blue star, meaning to me, use your blue embossing plate. That's how I tell myself what I'm doing, because I can't always remember what I'm doing. Okay, so then we have a layer for the inside, and these are for the outside. Okay, I need scrap paper. There we go. Bring that same one back in that we just used earlier. And we are going to stamp this smaller flower along this strip here. Okay. And we're just kind of rotating it here and there to get the whole thing covered. And I think I'm going to barely put something there. Okay. Oh, while I have this out, I am also going to stamp this larger flower right here on that. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment here that I got out of the daisy set. It says, "Your thoughtfulness brightened my day." And this is a 1/2 inch strip, and I think I've told you guys this before. I cannot stamp white on white. I can't see. So I put my white piece of paper on a colored piece of cardstock, and then I can see where I'm going. There it is. Put that up there. Okay, I think I'm done. No, I've got the inside layer here. So let me do the inside layer with the other. So I put these two together. It says, "Thank you for your kindness." And I'm just going to stamp those in the middle. About like so. Okay. Ooh, and then I also forgot, I'm going to bring in this flower again. And I'm going to stamp a couple right here. And we'll go 3-ish. Okay, now we're done with this, because this is a dark color. And Lord knows I don't want to be getting my stuff in that. And just to make sure I don't screw up again, I'm going to clean this right now. Okay. And we'll get this one. Oh, you probably can't see what I'm doing. I'm just using my chamois to clean these stamps off. So when I stick them in my box, then they're not going to be on anything, and I'm not going to make a mess. Okay, clean stamps make a happy stamper. All right, now we need our Blushing Bride. So for the large flower here, we're going to ink this up in Blushing Bride. This is what I call a blob. I don't know what it's really called, but it's a blob. And then I'm going to overstamp this. That is like the easiest way to color these flowers, no joke. Okay, so the blob I'm done with. Now this little strip here, I'm using this tiny little splatter, and all these images are from the stamp set, the Painted Poppy stamp set, which of course I do have an online class for. I'm just going to keep saying that until you guys buy it. Okay, and then, so I'm just like rotating this back and forth. I'm twisting it each time. So I'm sticking it into the ink, twisting it, sticking it into the ink and twisting it so that I can color in these petals of this flower. That should work. Right here, right there, and then this guy right here at the bottom. Okay, so then I'm going to take this large splatter, and I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp it off, ink it up, stamp it off. So I'm just kind of going across this strip 3 times. So there's what I have. So I have like 2 tones of Blushing Bride and the Rich Razzleberry. And then for this little guy, now since I stamped the blob off and it's a little bit light, now I can come back in here with the splatter and even make it prettier. So now, by the magic of TV, I would take this to my die cutting machine and cut it. There it is. Okay. So we have those 2 pieces. I don't think we need our scraps anymore, and I don't think we need this either. Okay. We'll push all these up to the top there so I don't accidentally touch them, because now I'm paranoid that I'm gonna screw up another card. I don't want to. Okay. Bone folder that. Add the Coastal Weave folder piece to the front. Come on, glue. You got a little bit more in you. I just know it. I always hate opening a new glue because it's always comes out so fast. And then I'm always afraid I'm going to get like too much glue because I've like gotten used to squeezing hard, you know, the one that's almost empty. And so sometimes it's difficult to use the brand new one. Okay. Hopefully I'm not alone in that and I'm not just going crazy. Oh man, we may have to. Ooh, so right now we're still a little bit lucky. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of use my grid paper to line up where to put this. It doesn't matter where I put it, just as long as it's at the same spot on, you know, both edges. And so I'm going to go right between 2 of these grid marks, and I'm right between 2 of these grid marks over here. So it should, except it's upside down. Stop, stop. Okay. Where did it go? Right here. Okay, now I'm not between 2. Now I'm right on there. Doesn't matter. As long as it's even. Okay, there. Oh, I love these colors together. Okay, then I have taken the swirly image from the die set, and I did that out of Rich Razzleberry. And that's going to go somewhere there. My sentiment piece, I'm going to bring that back in, and I'm going to snip this off. And then I'm going to flag the end. So I just take a snip down the center and then come in from both sides. And we're going to put this on before we put our circle on so that we know where to put the circle after we get the sentiment piece on there. Okay, so we're going to set this about right here. So it's in the center of that. And then we're going to add glue to this. And we're going to get that about like so. And then I have a piece of our rose glimmer paper. Super pretty. And I die cut this with the stitched circle. And I'm going to set that right in the center of that. And then this guy is going to be put on with some dimensionals. And then guess what? I'm going to put a fuzzy flower center on it. Okay, and I have one already done. I made it earlier and I put it in this container. So I used that same twine that I used earlier that had the crumb cake. This one is the, it's actually Blackberry Bliss twine, but it's fine. It looks just fine. And there we have a fuzzy flower center. I just love that. I love saying that. I think that's just the funniest thing ever. Fuzzy flower center. Okay, and then, oh, I forgot to finish stamping my inside piece. So we do need our Blushing Bride again. Okay, This won't take but just a moment. And we're just going to add a tiny bit there. You know what I might do? Hopefully I don't ruin the whole dang thing, but we're going to try this. I don't think I ruined it. But close the ink pad so you don't ruin it, Barb. Okay. I hope you guys like this, and hang on, don't leave just yet, because I'm going to show you the other 3 cards that I have that are exactly like this, but using different colors, and they all have fuzzy flower centers. I think I'm going to be obsessed with fuzzy flower centers for a while. So the few next projects you guys see from me might all be fuzzy flower centers. That actually might be, what are those things called when you try to say something fast, like 3 times in a row or whatever, and it's super hard? That might be what that is. Okay, so there is my finished card. Now let me bring in some other ones. Excuse me. Here's another one that I did. This one I used, oh, I have it stuck together because I was taking a photo of it and it wouldn't stay closed. This one uses Coastal Cabana and Poppy Parade, and we have Poppy Parade Baker's Twine in the Country Club twine pack in the Occasions catalog. So this is another one that I have. And then I have this one here, which uses Grapefruit Grove and Night of Navy. And now I have 2 different colors because we have Grapefruit Grove in that same package that I've already used. And then the Night of Navy, you can either get that from the Sahara Sand and Navy Baker's Twine. You can untwist those, or there's Navy in the Country Club tongue twisters. Thank you. Gosh, I tell you guys, words are so hard for me these days. I feel like I don't know, I'm old. So anyways, I've got the 2-tone in that center. And then I have one that's mint macaron and soft suede with a crumb cake center. So yeah, I've been obsessed with fuzzy flower centers, and I just don't see it ending anytime soon. Okay, so let me bring in the other cards. So I'm going to post the replay. I'm going to hide that so you can't see it. I'm going to post the replay of this on Facebook, and I will also put it on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel down here and give it a thumbs up. Tell me that you like it. Or on Facebook, give me a thumbs up too, telling me that you liked it. So we have this card where we use the Nature's Thoughts dies and the stamp set that coordinates with that. We have a lot. And then we have our fuzzy flower center. And then we have this card that I screwed up with our Thoughtful Blooms and our Prose dies to say hello. Cover that up. And then we have this gorgeous beauty here with another fuzzy flower center. So that is it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being with me. I appreciate it so much. If you came in late, be sure to go back and rewatch it. I'll be posting it to the page here momentarily. And have a great night, and I'll see you guys next week.